Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Woodmere State Revival. We are inside the house today. Our contractors have pretty well finished all of the stuff that they were hired to do, and the house has pretty much been turned over back to us. So we are beginning to do all the final finishes. Today we're working on flooring inside the Butler's pantry, back entry, hallway, and bathroom. So I'm preparing the subfloor using a belt sander, sanding down all the seams, making sure there's no nails sticking up, any screws sticking up, any loose seams or anything like that. I'm double checking those, putting an extra screw in if I need to. While I've been working on that, Amber has been painting the front door unit. We went with a mahogany front door unit, but we're going to do painted side lights and trim, and then the door will be stained. So she's been working hard on that today. Let me show you what all we're getting into and catch you guys up on a few things. Alright, so we got the front door off, and Amber has been working getting primer on all this wood and getting it ready for paint. Got it looking good. There's the door, and this one is actually getting sent back to the factory because there was a defect in it, and so we're actually going to get a door from the factory that will actually be stained and finished and ready to go, as a way of saying sorry for sending us a door that has a defect in it. So that worked out nicely, but Amber's going to go ahead and get the painting done because the door unit is supposed to arrive, or the door is supposed to arrive this week, and we don't want to have to try to paint around it once we get it installed. So she's been going through with wood filler and filling in any screw holes, any little nail holes, and then putting the primer and everything on it, getting that taken care of. So she's going to keep trucking on that. Doing some good work, hon.
Thanks.
She's currently sorting through all the plumbing fixtures and everything for all the bathrooms.
It's like Christmas.
Opening up everything, checking it out.
Yeah, it came months ago, but I just haven't really had time to go through it. So I figured I'd get it sorted and take it to each bathroom.
Sounds good. This is the exciting part, actually seeing some of the final finishes coming together. Speaking of finishes, this is all cabinetry. All this giant mess of cardboard is all cabinetry and trim pieces, and in here in the living room is all cabinetry and trim pieces. So we got our work cut out for us, but we got to get all the flooring done first. So that's what we've been working on. In here in the office, there's a few more cabinets. More stuff stored in here. We'd much rather be in the swimming pool today, hanging out with the boys. It's beautiful outside today. So we'd much rather be doing that. But, anyways, we gotta get this work done. Have fun, kids. Alright, so let's go to the other end of the house here and take a look at the Butler's pantry area on the other side of the kitchen here. So starting from this doorway all the way to the other end of the house, we're going to be doing slate tile. And so on top of the subfloor, which is mostly Advantech, but there's a few pieces of plywood where they had to go back in and patch later on. It's mostly Advantech, which is that engineered fancy OSB stuff. We're going to be going in with a Schluter Ditra product, which will give us a nice stable base, and then this slate tile goes on top of it. It's a natural slate. You can see here where it's been milled on the back, and then the natural surface on the front. This actually has some sealer on it that Amber's been experimenting with, give it a bit of a shine. But that's going to go across the entire space here. So this is the powder room. You can see she's been busy in here. She's got all the paint up already on the walls. We're doing a nice wainscoting around here. That's why it's two-tone. And then toilet goes here, and sink here. So it's going to be a nice little powder room. And we've got a closet here, water shut off, which is important. And then another closet here. And then another closet under the stairs. And we're planning on using those for various things. The slate will continue into there, and the slate goes all the way over here. Front of the back door, nice durable surface for boys and girls with wet feet running inside the house to use the bathroom after they've been in the pool. And it'll go all the way over here into the Butler's pantry. So like I said, I'm going to keep using our belt sander and sand down all the seams. Anything that's standing a little bit proud will get sanded down. That way we don't have any elevation or irregularity changes underneath of the Ditra, because you don't want to try to use that Ditra to smooth out on the regular floor. It's really just meant as an uncoupling membrane to separate the tile from the substrate, and keeps your tile basically floating on the Ditra rather than being coupled to the subfloor, which can expand and contract and have issues with, you know, cracking and that sort of thing. So we've used Ditra in other products or other projects, and it works really great. So we're looking forward to getting that laid down, and then we're going to start getting our layout done and getting our tile down. All right, so you can see we've got the floor sanded down, and then we got it vacuumed, and then Amber just came through and mopped it. Got all the last of the drywall dust. But you can see how much of the subfloor we had to sand in places. It was a pretty good lip, and that lip would just translate right through the Schluter. So we had to get that sanded down so it was nice and smooth. So all along here this had to be sanded, and then these all these butt joints had to be knocked down a little bit. You can see they were just a little bit high. A lot of this was laid and then it got wet. The roof wasn't on, and so a lot of it got wet. Now it's meant for that, but it was, you know, wet and had snow on it and everything else, so it did swell up a little bit, I'm sure, and did have you know, a little bit of lippage at the edges. So we got all that sanded down, and all the nails knocked down, screws tightened up, and got it mopped. Amber's got the Schluter Ditra XL roll here. You ready?
I'm ready.
So we got to lay it out. We're going to lay out the stuff dry and get several pieces, you know, to kind of fill up this area, laid out and cut. And then we'll go ahead and mix up a bucket of thin set and get that stuff set. So Amber and the boys just headed back up to the house. We had ourselves a little night swim, and this is where we're finishing up for the night. We got 3 pieces of the Schluter Ditra cut and dry fitted, and it's ready to go down tomorrow once we get a bucket of thin set mixed up. We got to cut a couple more pieces for the back entry here, so we'll get those laid out tomorrow. And once we get the back entry done, then we are ready to start moving down the hallway. So we'll cut pieces to go all the way down the hall into the closets, and then back here into the bathroom. So we'll get all that laid out tomorrow and get it put down with thin set. And you don't have to wait for the thin set to dry before you start laying tile, which is one nice thing. The Schluter folks allow you to go ahead and start laying it out. So really by the time we get all this done and then work our way down the hallway and finish up in the bathroom, this stuff will really be set up enough to go ahead and start laying tile. So we'll go ahead and get our layout marks put down on the ground. We'll have to strike lines or draw lines with a Sharpie on the Schluter, and then use those to guide us as we're laying our tile here in the Butler's pantry and then down the hall. We got to make sure that we keep this laser straight down through here, because you're going to be able to stand here in the kitchen and look all the way down this hall. So if we get off at all, it's really going to show. So that's where we're going to leave it for tonight. We'll be back down here tomorrow after church, and hopefully go ahead and get all that Ditra put down, and then go ahead and get our layouts done and go ahead and start laying out some of that slate tile. Can't wait to see that stuff going down. It's going to be beautiful. That's really going to look good. And the cabinets in the Butler's pantry and everything else are really going to help set that off. And then we'll have a nice transition piece right here at the kitchen door, and then we'll take off with our hardwoods from here all the way across the rest of the downstairs. So I think it's all going to coordinate nicely and really look great. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll get some more of this knocked out.